ducks show up in your fridge. It's just I hate that.
At least the duck is in the freezer and not walking around my house.
I don't remember a duck in here, but we have a duck.
And then we're live.
Oh, okay, we're live. All right, folks. Having just cranked up the heat
Yes.
because damn. Also, coffee. If you drink coffee, order for these guys. Let them know you heard it here. Maybe they'll feel sorry for us and send them some more coffee. It's Friday. This is about a usual day for us.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Why do we have a monkey? I hate monkeys. Well, Sanford, why would you hand me a monkeys? Oh, it makes noise.
That would be why he handed you the monkey.
I hate monkeys. Monkeys are the devil's oven mitts. There's nothing redeeming about monkeys at all.
Hello, all, and yes, welcome to Happy Turkey Day Leftovers. The turkey turned out fairly well, both of them, the smoked turkey breast and the real turkey. The entire neighborhood smelled like turkeys yesterday.
It's Thanksgiving.
Between the people smoking them, the people frying them, walk outside, it's like turkey.
Turkey Day.
Yeah.
I do. I was telling them I do love turkeys, but my father, for all of his good qualities, was not a turkey cook. I think Chris, maybe in the comments, he would remember this. He could not do turkey. And I had sawdust turkey growing up, and figured I didn't like turkey. The very first sheriff's office I worked for, we had, and my paw to God, I swear this is the truth, we had a convicted arsonist who wound up pulling trustee duty and cooked a turkey for us in my first Thanksgiving at Bugscuffle County. And he did a turkey that was so good. This arsonist did a turkey that was so good that I first bite I had, after politeness sake, it's like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And he had done, the volunteer fire department dumped all their spare turkeys on us, and he took all the turkeys. So we had more turkey than the sheriff knew what to do with. So he sent me home with a travel thing of turkey. And Chris, my little brother, came up, and we were headed back to Momstown, and said, "What's this?" It says turkey. You've got to try it. You must try turkey. And Chris is like, tried it. And then the rest of the trip, he is bogarting the entire tin of turkey and was snapping at me every time I tried to get a piece.
Yeah, some people like turkey, some don't.
I love turkey. Done right. Now, Cedar's here. Cedar said earlier that it can be dry, and it can. You can screw up a turkey. Woo, boy.
Yeah.
And dry turkey is just no way to.
Yeah, Richard, typical military after the holidays. Cold turkey slices, cranberry jelly, stuffed sandwich on white bread with mayo. Yeah.
Not mayo. You take the gravy. You take a spoonful of gravy. Use that instead of mayo. It's much, much better.
It's mushy at that point.
And
it's still mushy.
Yeah. And then you put some turkey on there, and you take your cranberry. And there's a reason it comes from heaven with the little rings.
Yes, so you can slice it.
And you put that little disc of cranberry on top, and then your other piece of bread, and you eat that, standing over the sink.
And you
in the garbage bin.
Bread.
That works fine.
Nice crusty roll.
That works fine, unless you're on an airplane.
Well,
It's not good to dribble on the equipment.
that's why you eat over the sink or the garbage bin. In your jammies with your ancestors grunting approvingly.
Yeah, right.
And the morning after Thanksgiving, it is tradition you must have a slice of pie for breakfast.
I would have, but you took the damn pies home with you.
I didn't realize we were taking all of them. I was not paying attention. My apologies. I will bring the pie back.
I noticed.
I have pie still.
I thought you had a piece of pie that you'd made.
For breakfast?
Well, no, we thought you had made a pecan pie.
No, there are two pies sitting in the refrigerator. I wasn't breaking them out until Saturday.
Aha.
So I'm looking for pie this morning going,
Well, I know
am I not seeing it?
the boy left the chocolate cookies there.
I had one of those.
Those were,
They were chocolate.
oh my gosh.
So I'm opening the refrigerator and looking, and no, that's food.
You
Go to the other refrigerator, food. Son of a bitch.
You could have texted me. I'd have sent somebody over with pizza. I was working, but I could have
It's
sent
7 o'clock
somebody over.
this morning. I don't think so.
I was working.
You might have been.
You do hear Sanford in the background.
Yes, Sanford is here.
So we have Cedar and Sanford both working. My grandmother made stuffing that you could cut like a brownie, and we ate like brownies.
Yeah.
You get this wedge that thick with the crusty corner like you like on brownies. You wanted that on this stuffing, and we learned that you could thin slice that and use it for bread.
Yeah.
Oh, Jet, there's nothing wrong with food in the fridge. I was looking for a piece of pie. Yeah, next year when I do this, I'm gonna do the cornbread stuffing instead of 2 pans, 1 pan
Yeah. So
to
it's
get it the right
deeper.
thickness.
Yeah.
You say cornbread stuffing like there's some other kind.
There are people that make other stuff, yes.
I do. It depends.
You say cornbread stuffing like there's some other kind.
There are people who make other kinds, yes.
Um,
Where was the pie, Jet? Cedar took
Ce-
it home with
Cedar,
her.
Cedar is a wonder with pies.
Yes,
So she made pies and then took them home.
yes.
Well, they got packed up and put in the car. So, I mean,
I
took them
know.
oh, I see who the responsible
Now we
party
know
was.
who's responsible. You out.
And we had a whole extra pumpkin pie because the pie filling that I did made 3 pies.
Oh, noes.
So we have an extra pumpkin pie I can
Oh,
provide
no.
to you.
Break my heart.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Tom.
Extra pie.
I was told there would be pie. Yes, there was last night. There was not this morning. Stuffing is always better the next day. Yes.
Yes.
Well, had I known you wanted the pie, I'd have been perfectly happy to leave pumpkin pie.
Sanford
Pie's
does
pie.
not like pumpkin pie.
Oh, well, darn.
More for the rest of us.
We are going to be eating leftovers until at least Saturday.
Yeah.
And then what's left over at Saturday will probably get binned.
Yeah.
Oh, I love my ground stuffing. Is a give or take for me. I find that way too many people go way over sage on stuffing.
Yeah.
Over sage stuffing is just not.
Mhm.
My grandmother, Jim, makes good stuffing. My grandmother made the best. Like I said, we used to cut it like brownies.
Yeah.
Walk around the house. Excuse me. Ooh, it tastes like turkey and cranberry sauce. Ooh. Used to walk around with wedges, like a brownie wedge of stuffing. Just walk around the house eating stuffing.
Yeah.
Oh, there is I regret to inform you, Sir Brass, there is such a thing as too much sage.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes. It's very strong. It can take
A lot
over.
of sausages have too much sage.
Yeah.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, Julie, I've also got a full ham. Well, I got about 3/4 of a ham left too.
Ham, beans, some ham bouillon from the store, and make yourself a pot of beans with chunk
Invite
ham.
me over.
Chunk ham.
That may be dinner Saturday night, depending on how many leftovers we go through. I'm sure we will still be eating leftovers tomorrow.
Chopped sage is always chopped herbs are always better than the powdered stuff or the dried stuff. Chopped fresh herbs are always better than the dried or the powdered stuff.
Yeah. I think all in all, yesterday was a team effort. Everybody brought different things, and as usual, we had a success. And as usual, we had way too much food.
And I started eating at 4:00.
Yeah.
I got off work, went over there. I promised myself I wasn't going to nosedive off the hors d'oeuvres. That didn't work. I started eating hors d'oeuvres at 4,
Yeah.
and then we got into the turkey. Well, I can't say that. Honestly, he was in there cutting up the turkey, and I was sneaking bits of it and dipping it into the gravy that was cooking on the stove.
I noticed. I'm having to watch it because I'm sitting there cutting and I see this hand come in. It's like, would you stop that? Fingers are not appropriate for finger food.
If there's a strange noise, folks, it's the heating
It's the
system.
heater working. Because
Finally.
It's singing the song of its people.
Yeah.
indeed.
Hors d'oeuvres for a couple of bottles of wine. Yeah. I've got a bottle of wine. Got a couple of them.
I need to. Do you remember that port you sent us that one time?
Yeah.
He says a ruby port. I've got to find some more of that stuff.
Good luck,
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that.
because it came from Australia.
Of course.
I've got a bottle of port that my dad gave me a few years back and I've never opened.
Really?
Well, this was infused port.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's a
that
ruby
sounds
port.
lovely.
It was fantastic. Rita's not a big sweet wine drinker, but I do like a port for your after.
Yeah, you like that for about 2 days and drank the whole bottle.
Yeah, darn Skippy. Yeah, darn Skippy.
We should take it over some Saturday night, take that bottle of port over and share it with Ian and whoever else is there. That way we'd all drink enough to enjoy without drinking enough to get drunk.
Yeah.
Port hangovers are not good.
No,
Oh,
Lord, no.
yeah,
Port
RK,
and
that's
brandy hangovers.
getting down to 50 bottles.
There's something about after a good meal, sitting down and a good conversation with a glass of port. It's just reminds me of the old days.
Oh, yeah, there are a number of good things out there. Glenmorangie, yeah, it's all right. I like either Macallan or Springbank.
Oh, Talisker.
Yeah. Depends on how many years old it is.
Well, that's a point. Yes,
Talisker 10 has got bite to it.
Talisker 15 is almost gone.
Yeah.
I think Bill Morton sent us a bottle of Talisker 15. I
Yeah.
think it was Bill. Might have been you. I don't remember. So
I think it was Bill.
we've got a bottle of Talisker 15. I've been nursing along because oh Lord,
200 bottles, RK. Y'all are serious winos.
not necessarily.
Yeah, they were.
200 bottles a year supply.
Not necessarily.
Just
One
have
of
dinner every night.
we had, yeah, it is Bill.
It was Bill. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
We're almost out of it. We've been rationing it.
We had when I was stationed out in California at one point, lived in an apartment complex, and we had a wine snob there. I mean, this guy would routinely go up to the wineries, and he would come back with 6 or 8 bottles of very expensive wine that he would occasionally share out. And we did a Christmas party one year, and one of our neighbors was a cartoonist. So we made up a gift box for him from Wino Wineries. Cartoon. And it was a paper bag. It said Wino Wineries, only the finest. And in it we put a bottle of Boone's Farm, a bottle of Mogan David 2020, and a bottle of Thunderbird.
Oh. Only thing you're missing is the night train and the hangover.
Well, the only reason was the night train wouldn't fit
Oh,
because we couldn't get anything less than a quart.
dude, that's night train.
You're talking 4 hangovers there, not one.
Oh, that's a lethal hangover. Ooh.
Yeah, the upshot was that son of a bitch never again offered us a bottle of wine. Like, you cheap son of a bitch. Springtime is for Dalwhinnie. Yeah, Dalwhinnie's good. Oban, yeah, I can give or take it. Yeah, there's always bourbon and rye people.
Tom Rognamy and his wife, well, Tom actually,
Yeah.
at one of the early Liberty Cons got me started on bourbon. I was a Scotch drinker, and Tom got me started on bourbon. And whoo, good Lord.
Yeah, RK, there are good wines, and cost is not always a factor.
No, very seldom.
Although the funny part is Australian wines for a number of years were dirt cheap. And there were a couple of different bottles that I got introduced to down in Australia. Ben 392 being one of them, and I forget what the other one was, Ben's 56 or something like that. And they were $8-10 a bottle here in the States. Last trip I made down there, I was going to go through, well, hell, in Australia, you got to go through duty free to get in or out. So I'm wandering over and I look at the cost of it. No, it's got to be a mismark.
Oh no.
Yeah. I walked over to the little girl that was manning the station. I said, "Excuse me, can you scan the price on this bottle of Ben 392?" She scans it and goes, "Oh, that'll be $100." Okay, never
For
mind.
an $8 bottle of wine?
Yeah, thank you very much. Apparently, it had been found.
Oh, I
Mhm.
hate it when
Yeah.
that happens.
It's kind of like what happened with the oil fire.
Yeah. I hate to think we had something to do with that, but I have my
No, it
suspicions.
had won an award.
Oh.
That's
Wine
what
isn't
we
for
were able to
drinking; it's
find
for
out.
hand-to-hand fighting.
I'd like to know what sack of O-rings made oh hell, the South African liqueur
Vanderham?
Vanderham
Yeah,
made that popular in the States because he owes me a bottle of Vanderham.
yeah,
Can we get it now here?
yeah.
Occasionally,
Oh, good. Because
you
I
have to be
just ran-
fast.
I
Yeah.
just ran out of my bottle.
You have to be fast.
Yeah. German wines, yeah, they're a little different.
Germans,
Wunderbar.
Yeah,
Germans.
the Italian wines are interesting. I actually like the
Grew up on Italian wines.
the dirt cheap Chianti that's guaranteed at least 7 days old. You know, that was served in most restaurants over
Oh
there.
look, vintage last Thursday.
Yeah.
Um.
It was good.
Oh yeah.
I
There
mean, it
are
went well with the cheap spaghetti I was eating.
or expensive spaghetti.
Yeah.
I grew up on Italian
Soju,
wines.
no, just no, Richard. We're not doing frigging soju.
There
We've
was
had this conversation
Yes.
several times.
there's a Spanish wine called Crianza Rioja.
Mhm.
That's a pretty good. The cheaper ones are in the dark red label, are a pretty good approximation of the Italian wines I grew up on, and I love it. Marquis de Caceres, that's it.
Yeah.
Crianzas are a pretty close approximation of what I grew up on, and oh, that stuff's good. I like it.
Yeah, Kermit, it does, and we shout it down every time.
Soju,
Buffalo Trace is massively overhyped and overpriced. Yeah, I've been hearing that more and more lately.
Buffalo Traces, they've added a 0 to their prices.
Yeah,
On the right-hand side last time. Now, I'm here to tell you that Tom Rognaby and I can discuss bourbons for an entire Fool's Gone.
yeah, and you have.
Oh, yeah. And he introduced me to something, I think it was Buffalo Trace cream. The
Oh, yes. Bourbon cream is nice.
bourbon cream and A&W root beer.
No, bourbon cream and coffee. Ooh.
I think it was A&W root beer. Bourbon cream and something that he served me. I was freaking out at Fool's Con. Was hiding on the back porch. He brought out a little red solo cup and it had Buffalo Trace bourbon cream and something. And bourbon cream root beer. It was, whoo, that was good.
Yeah, Bowman. Yeah, I tried them once. I was not impressed. Bourbon cream and root beer, bourbon cream and coffee, bourbon cream and bourbon. Yeah,
There's a Texas is getting a decent distillery trail, and I think it's Balcones Estates, but don't quote me on that.
yeah, that's what it is.
Balcones. Well, they're going for a Texas single malt, and they
Which
keep.
I'm not sure how that's going to work.
I'm not either. I'm going to be interested to see, and I'm on the list. They're going to call me as soon as they decide that they've developed their bourbon single malt or their Texas single malt, and I'm going to give it a shot. And I got Tom's attention. Yes.
Well, it's got to be better than that damn rice scotch out of Japan.
Oh,
Yeah, they actually market
I
that
can
shit.
stay set back of my throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas single malt. They're hot on the trail of developing that, and I'm going to be interested.
Lagavulin is not bad. Peanut butter bourbon out there.
What the
What?
hell?
Yeah, sir, Brass. Some of Japanese whiskeys are made out of rice.
There's
Yeah, Korean rum. Oh, yeah.
when we went to
Ow.
no kidding, Al, Tolkon, some demented bastard introduced me to Oldfire, which is a bourbon liqueur. I like liqueurs. I make no bones about it. And this tastes like liquid pecan pie.
It is really nice.
Cedar
And,
says with a lopsided grin.
and it caused at least 2 more anthologies that I know of that I remember, because holy gods, it's smooth. And then it's like, ooh,
It's called Oil Fire
Oil
Jet.
Fire. It's out of Tulsa, called Oil Fire. And I took I didn't think it was that high of alcohol content.
Yeah.
As I tried it, it's like woo, and served, handed it to Kelly. Kelly ran off with a bottle. Kelly Grayson grabbed the bottle, and then we killed. That's one of the reasons that that picture at the Malta panel the next day at Tolcon. Kelly and I looked so wrecked.
You were. You were both still drunk.
No, I was well in my hangover. I wish I'd been drunk. Oh,
RK, I'm sure you can find something to twist.
but it tastes like pecan pie in a jar. Oh my God, it's dangerous.
Now, the one that I remember was actually a Scotch liqueur, Scotch and honey liqueur. It was put out, I want to say, by Chevis, called Lacanora.
Right. Oh.
And it was good. And the funny thing was, you could actually get it in a Class 6 store.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember.
Hangover still counts as drunk. Yeah.
Rick Randall, a friend of mine on Facebook. Haven't met him in person yet, but not great guy.
Yeah, he's good, folks.
He and I were commiserating because something about military drunks. I forget what it was. I said that I could remember the days of showing up and starting a 5-mile run drunk and finishing it hungover. And Rick said, "Oh my God, I can taste it. Or no, I can smell. I remember the smell, and I'm gagging."
Yeah. Yeah, Drambuie is good. I've got a bottle of that stuffed down in the bottom of my pantry, along with a few other things.
I'm not a big fan of Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, either one.
Yeah.
Tom Rogby's a great guy, but he introduces me to the good stuff. And once you've had the good stuff, the crap stuff is just crap.
Jim Beam is cooking whiskey.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got Maker's Mark I can use for cooking whiskey.
Yeah. I like Sazerac cocktails too. Of course, being a Louisiana boy.
You would.
Yeah.
Tom Rockenby, when I did his Eat This Will You Read That recipe, had me do a pork roast with a cooking bourbon.
Really?
Was what he wanted to use. I think 2 to 3 cups of cooking bourbon in the pork roast. And so, of course, I go to my dear husband, who has stepped out of the blanket for it right now and can't refute this part of the story. And I asked him, because generally he's the one that's going to know about these things, what a cooking bourbon is, because I've never heard of it. And he said, go into the store and look at the very bottom of the shelf and find a bourbon.
Yeah.
And that'll be your cooking bourbon.
Yeah, military anything brand, yes. Oh, shoot, Brian. Well, depending on what deer tag, a deer is a deer.
One of the things, Texas deer, bless their hearts, Texas deer are not real big bodied.
Well, depends on where you are in Texas.
Oh, yeah. For the most part. Well, compared to a Missouri Breaks whitetail or the Kansas, Nebraska line whitetails, the whitetails in Texas aren't that big. However, if you can get a whitetail that's been bunked at a persimmon orchard, and eat pecans on the side,
that just sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Matt Hambright and I got a.
Hang on.
What?
There's a Karen outside gesturing at Jim. This should be fun. Anyway, Matt Hambright and I probably bent some rules and got a buck that had been living downstream of a dam on the one reservoir here in Texas. And somebody had lost some blackberries downstream, and there were blackberry, it was waist deep in blackberry
Ooh.
thickets. And he had a bed and was nested down in blackberry thickets. He'd been eating blackberries until he was just, and we ambushed him, and he didn't know we were there. Matt put a 12-gauge slug right through his boiler room and dropped him. He never knew he was there. Didn't have time to get any adrenaline in his system.
It's raining,
Of course it's raining.
and I had my window down.
It's bloody cold and it's raining, of
Yeah.
course. Anyway,
Bloody cold. It's 50 out there.
Bullshit. Might be 40.
I don't
40s.
care. I don't care. So we took the deer to a really great processor that we know here in Wichita County, and he did us right with that deer. And oh my God, that was the best venison I've ever had, because he was completely surprised, completely relaxed. He was head down when Matt hit him, and no adrenaline. And it was stuffed to gills on blackberries. Oh my God, he was good.
Yeah, we do have some muleys out here, more in West Texas.
They're headed this way. This is one of the few places. Normally, the whitetails run the muleys off. When whitetails get introduced, they run off the muleys. Apparently not in West Texas. The muleys are running off the whitetails, which is really weird.
Well, there's kind of a dividing line. You know, you come basically north out of Marfa, up through Uvalde, that area. West of that is mule deer. East of that is kind of flows back and forth between muleys and whitetails.
So, do muleys have the same problem with chronic wasting that whitetails do?
I don't know.
Because I saw a doe one time with chronic wasting when we were in Tennessee near Cumberland Gap, and that was the saddest, sorriest critter I have ever seen in my life.
The muleys are quite a bit larger.
Yeah, I knew that. That's why I'm kind of surprised the whiteys can run them off.
Yeah.
The muleys are very, very single track. You have to ask, Jesse Gaunt and I had a long talk over scotch over this one night. And where the whitetails are more Swiss Army knives, and the muleys are more single focus scalpels.
Yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
the whitetails run the muleys off, except to West Texas, where the muleys are running off the whitetails.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
better
then you
adapted
get
to
down
the
around
range.
Fredericksburg, and there are a lot of axis deer.
Oh, they're axis deer out the yin yang.
And those you can shoot year round.
They are introduced species.
Yeah.
There's no bag. You have to have a hunting license. There's no
So they're a
bag limit.
varmint.
Yeah. There's no bag limit. There's no hunting season. You can whack them.
But there is a problem with that, because some of the farms have figured out that they have huge racks on them.
Mm-hmm.
So they charge all kinds of money to pop an axis buck.
Aha.
And once again, I ain't paying that kind of money to go shoot a varmint.
Oh yeah, Texas. The Texas Parks and Wildlife has been real on top. Chronic wasting disease and zebra mussels are becoming a big. Not so much chronic wasting disease, but zebra mussels are being a big problem in Texas. Chronic wasting disease is confined right now. It won't stay confined. Confined right now to a couple of areas, and Parks and Wildlife has set up free testing stations, so you can bring in anything and they'll test it for chronic wasting disease.
Yeah, Kermit, that's a good point. Elk are also considered invasive in Texas.
Yep.
So you can shoot an elk without a tag.
Yep. You have to have a hunting license. Don't have to have a tag.
Yep.
Well, and all of the African species down south that got brought into the big hunting ranches.
Differ.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the meat, so forget it. Don't ask.
That's all I want out of it.
She said, we can keep the point. She wants the meat. No.
I'm with her.
Well, I'm at the point that when I take a deer, I don't none of the nervous tissue, no spine, no brain,
Yeah.
everything gets left.
No, right. Yeah, because you don't want to mess with prion disease.
And that's chronic wasting disease is a prion.
Prion disease.
So everything that's nervous system is gone.
Mm-hmm.
White Sands had oryx.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not something I would have expected. Okay.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of African Indian species on the big ranches down south.
The Victorian era collecting was a mania, and they collected things and brought them back. I mean, England started doing it, I think, but
Yeah.
America and England at that era were kind of competing with each other. Hey, let's do weird stuff.
I actually got
Kermit
accused.
says a buddy of his had an oryx in his front yard last week.
Oh wow!
I actually got accused of screen checking an inmate. I was bringing him back from South Texas and locked up the brakes because I looked over my shoulder, looked left, and there was a nil guy standing right there in a pasture. It's like, what the hell? Damn, there was a nil guy in a
Pasture.
yeah. What the hell's a nil guy doing there?
That's about as bad as that Longhorn Brahma cross we saw that day.
Some moron crossed a Brahma and a Longhorn.
What did it look like?
It looked like a Brahma had the big hump with horns out to here.
Oh, cool.
Looked like something on a plasticine. It's like, oh shit.
It was not happy. And it was behind a strong fence.
Well,
And
it's
it
a
was
Brahma
glaring
and
at
a
everything that
Longhorn.
went
Oh,
by.
yeah.
Brahma and Longhorn, not happy is kind of predicated.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that.
Yeah, think
I've seen sable, not the psychotic rodents, but the black sable. I've seen black sable, and I'm here to tell you, if I see a black sable in my freaking yard,
Tom, that sucker went an easy ton. That was a big Brahma horn or whatever you want to call it. That was a big one.
if I can take a sable, I've had sable meat, and honest to God, second only to hippo. Hippo meat's great. Hell on wheels getting it, but honest to God, sable's not much easier. But sable
Greg,
meat is good.
Why, I have to ask, why would New Mexico Game and Fish release oryx as an exotic animal introduction program on White Sands? That's what he just said.
I don't mind, but
Why?
Why?
oh, zebu. Zebu are endemic to West Africa.
Yeah, Richard, I watched the tapir clip. That's cute.
I dislike zebu meat. I will eat zebu meat if nothing else is available, and I'll damn sure eat it before I'll eat horse. Horse meat's nasty.
Yeah.
Zebu meat's better, but not by much. If I can get wild game, I get venison. I'll eat that over zebu. I'll eat zebu rather than eating tofu or soy.
Yeah.
I'll eat zebu meat. But I ate enough of that as a kid, and it's just zebu meat's not good.
Yeah, Greg Kermit. Yeah, I was around in the 60s, but I didn't know enough to ask. Attract the hunters between missile shots. Yeah, go out. Yeah. Here, go out in this impact area and go hunt. Yeah. Mhm.
I can't imagine ditch rolling your oryx and then hearing that
Yeah.
pounding feet off the impact zone, waiting for all the dust settle, going back to finish ditch rolling your oryx. Just seems weird.
And with my luck, it'd be go back and there'd be a spot.
Yeah, no kidding.
And know where the impact for that one was.
So there I was one night during the infamous 14 days of lasagna T-rats for 2 meals a day, looking through an infrared scope attached or peripherally attached to 25 millimeter chain gun, and I saw a cow looking at me. And I had been eating lasagna for 14 days. So I reached over and sleepily hit the giggle switch and then pulled the trigger. And for those of you who don't know, the M242 Bushmaster chain cannon is a dual feed piece of equipment. If the happy switch is up, it's feeding through the upper chain or the upper sprockets, and you get armor piercing incendiary, which is just a little rod.
Oh no.
And if the giggle switch is down, it feeds from below, and you get high explosive incendiary,
Oh no.
which is a 1-inch shell stuffed full of composition B.
You
And
flipped it the wrong way, didn't you?
And as the gobbets rained down in the thermal sight, I went, shit.
Pre-cooked hamburger?
Oh,
Yeah, Tom, if I remember right, the tank ranges at Knox mostly were inert rounds. They weren't firing too much HE up there.
baby blues.
Yeah.
Baby blues.
If you do see
Yes, we kept eating lasagna.
a deer that is intersected with the main tank round.
Yeah.
And an inert one. What you mostly see is bits flying.
Yeah.
I was listening
The
to
front half and the back half went separate ways. The middle is gone, which is the good stuff.
I was listening to an artillery channel one time because I was bored. I was sitting somewhere doing something. I was bored out of my tiny little gourd, so I switched over and found artillery channel. And apparently there was a forward observer, maybe a fister, but most probably a forward observer, who was chasing something across the impact zone with 105s. Because he kept this very excited voice and he kept doing these major impact
Corrections.
shifts. And the poor cannon cockers finally, what the hell? He said, we've almost got it.
Got what?
Either deer or turkey, not sure which. Colonel said it was good training for chasing infantry across the impact zone. All right, then.
Okay, RK, we'll blame it on the cat. Mm-hmm. Say nothing about that glass you have next to the computer.
Ooh, at the turret ring. That's
Try putting an Oryx down with a 45. Ooh. That.
for the where you aim
Yes.
if you're in a Bradley or an Abrams is a turret ring of the opposing, because that's the weak point in the armor.
Yeah.
And apparently, according to Winkler, somebody put a training round on the turret ring and probably got inside the turret.
Yeah. Ow, that would have made a mess. A big mug of tea. Okay. Yeah.
Irish tea.
Oh, M60.
The entire crew.
Oh. Yeah, it would.
Oryx is hard as hell to kill. Of the Plains game, most Plains game can be taken on 270. African Plains game, for the most part, a 270 all the way up, 30-06, maybe 350 rim mag, 9.3 by 62. Oryx, you need 375. It's just a solid chunk of stupid.
Yeah. That's a good point. Speaking of solid chunk of stupid, Black Friday sale on fidget toys.
Hush.
We had a mining range and it squeaks too.
I'm keeping my hands off of it because it squeaks.
So we are down at this mining range in one of the lakes in Florida in our P3. And we're supposed to go down and drop a shape on a target. So we come in, get cleared on the range, and we come trucking down through there. We're descending down, bank around, line up on the target, and we hear target's foul. Do a squeakectomy on it. So we all kind of go, target's foul? Yeah, we just checked and there's a couple of fishermen tied up to the target. Say what?
That's a new definition of fouling a target.
Yeah. Well, not only that, this is on a military range, which is off limits.
Right.
So we come around, make a low pass, and they're shaking their fists at us. Come back around, and I asked the range safety officer, I said, hey, you guys going to go clear them off the range? Hey, man, we ain't got a boat with us. Okay. Let me see if I can clear them off the range. So we make second low pass. They shake their fist at us again. So third pass, I popped up a fly 2 point for the flight station. I said, all right, we'll make this one a simulated weapons drop. Master arm off, bomb bays coming open. And I hear this chuckle out of the flight station. And flight station is calls back to sensor 3 and said, "Yeah, radar, how about turning the urge around, pointing it forward?" So I had a little urge monitor that I could call up. So I punched it up, and I'm calling inbound course, IP, everything else that you have to do. And all
It
of a
was good training.
huh?
It's good training.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I hear this cackle over the noise of the engines out of the flight station. And they come on the PA and go, "Look out the windows or look at the urge. You'll get a laugh out of this." There's one guy in the back frantically trying to start the engine. The other guy's up in front with a paddle just going like hell. Apparently, when we opened the bomb bays, they decided we might have been serious. So they truck off to wherever the hell they had snuck in. And we came back around and actually bullseyed the target, which pissed the range off. And we got back to Jacksonville. We got back to Jacksonville, and Skipper called us in the office. And he goes, "They filed a complaint against you guys." I said, "For what?" "Well, apparently they felt threatened when you opened the bomb bay."
No.
"Well, they were tied up to the target, Skipper." He says, "Well, yeah, but did you really have to open the bomb bay?" He said, "That was the third pass. We were running out of gas." He goes, "Yeah, okay." Oh, by the way, they also got about $600 in tickets for illegal access, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the boat and the truck were confiscated.
No.
Oh.
Poor Eccles.
Yeah.
Fort Sill, north of us, Army artillery, home of artillery and all that.
Yeah.
Their impact zone, the Army apparently stocks the multitude of fish tanks out there because it's got a whole bunch of depressions for some reason, filled full of water. So they stock them, and you can actually get a license to go fish on the impact zone at the Army's home of field artillery.
No.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, contamination, but also
Minor
Don't
problem with
kick the rocks.
contamination.
Don't kick the rocks on the way in.
It might not be a rock.
Exactly.
And it might go off this time.
Yeah, exactly.
B-52's open bomb bay doors on the fishing fleet on Delaware Bay. Yeah, that sounds like typical Air Force.
Yeah, very excitable rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, although I do have a B-52 mining story. We had managed to get some R&R or I&I, depending on your point of view.
I feel better now.
Really?
I feel better now.
And I'm sitting over here thinking, I done good.
So we are on the island of Majorca over in Spain. And they actually have a mining range off the island.
Okay.
So we're down on the beach with a couple of young ladies that we've met in one of the local establishments who were secretaries from Norway. And one of them points out and goes, "What's the smoke out there?" And we all kind of look around and go,
Smoke.
B-52 mining range. Okay, he'll come in, he'll drop mines, and he'll peel off. So they're going, "Oh, okay, well, we want to watch." So we're sitting there watching it. And we're watching it. And we're watching it.
It seems to me like a bad idea.
And about that point, we're kind of looking at each other going, "That son of a bitch is already over the range." Yeah, he is. And we're watching it. And the bomb bay doors are open and nothing's coming out. And all of a sudden, stuff
Not
starts
yet.
coming out of the bomb bay.
Oh.
and they are 2 or 3 miles off the beach. And it's like, shit, it's too late to run. And about that time, the Bombay slam closed. All 8 throttles go max, and the guy pulls up as hard as he could, and he might have went over the top of the hotels at 750 feet.
Oof.
But they always claimed they could do everything we could do and do it better.
All right then.
A little bit different airframe there.
Yeah, just scotchy bit.
That thing is staring at me.
There is a picture that was taken back during Vietnam of a B-52 below the flight deck on the Ranger. If anybody had hiccuped,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been all over but the crying. And they did try to do some rigging back in the day. Yeah, they're not exactly known for nimble. And
Much like a Crown Vic, they're really great at going straight.
yeah. Calamity Jane, yes. So they were doing rigging practice out of Castle off San Diego. And I know this from the after action report that I saw at Third Fleet. They blew over 9 sailboats doing rigging practice.
All right then.
Needless to say, they went back to doing their high altitude stuff and left us alone.
It's a monkey.
Tom, that does not surprise me. Tom has a special place in his heart for B-52s. His first school mascot was the Bombers.
I was totally not going there. I was totally going in a whole different direction.
Yes. RK, probably quite a few. The question is, when will the first 4th generation pilot fly a B-52?
No, the question will be is which one will do the honorary flyby when they retire the B-2?
Yeah. Well, whenever they do, they're going to send a DC-3 to pick them up. So DC-3s are still flying all over the world.
Oh, I know. I'm from Africa. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, up until 6 or 7 years ago, there was still an airline in the United States flying DC-3s. When we invent warp drive, B-52 will get the upgrade. Not far from the truth.
We had the local in Warri, the local air service was Aero Contractors, and I got last week I got nostalgic or something.
Yeah.
And started looking up Aero Contractors, and the first 3 returns I got on Google were the CIA fleet out of North Carolina. No.
Yeah. Rose of DC-3 and we look, guy in the back was sitting on chicken crates. Yep.
Still alive.
Yeah, the B-1 can carry more bomb tonnage than a Buff, but the B-1 was a solution to a problem that didn't exist. A problem with the monkey as a co-pilot in stories.
Seen it. Bob the Not Russian.
Yeah. Yes, Sir Brass. I think 5,000 pounds is a correct statement. But the B-1 cannot carry the quality and the multiplicity of rounds that a B-52 can.
I still want to see the B-1 reconnaissance version.
Yeah.
The B-1R.
A pickup cannot do the job of a semi.
Well, no.
It'll be the B-1R D model.
Boner D?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Bird.
Bonard.
B-1RD. I've used that call sign before.
I think we just lost Kermit. There was some oh hush.
Actually, yes, Kermit. At least one occasion during the hunt for Bin Laden, a B-1 was used as a reconnaissance aircraft by Navy SEALs.
It was also used when it was Winchester. It went transonic in a valley at a really low altitude, and then requested a battle damage assessment.
And got a 12 KIA for a low pass. Yes. Them boys ain't right.
Military.
Oh, speaking of military, I saw a meme come across my Navy side today. The Blue Angels before and after Thanksgiving picture. The before picture was the F-18. The after picture was Fat Albert. Yep. Yes, it is, RK. You ought to know. You're a member. Sir Brass, that's a damn good question, and one that I am not even going to attempt to address on an open circuit.
No.
B-1 is louder than 43 NASCARs at Texas Motor Speedway.
I can't figure out why I couldn't pry the squeaker out of this thing.
Well, I'll take it home and give it to the dog. She'll have it out in no time.
That would be Cedar's husband,
Sanford.
who apparently has a very wicked sense of humor because
He does.
What did I do?
gave me this damned squeaking monkey. And now it's gone and I can't mess with it.
Last, I don't remember for sure what year it was, Richard.
And he's going to go retrieve it.
Slowly, because bending over is not his forte.
Yeah.
He retrieved it. And he's going to bring it to me. You ain't right.
We know that.
Is anybody in this crowd right?
No.
Is anybody that associates with us right?
Nope.
Okay. How many squeakies will be in the mail to Ian in the morning?
Hush.
Where did the crocheted pink gorilla come from that John and Courtney have at their event stall?
What?
That was a donation.
What?
Yeah.
Crocheted pink gorilla, yes.
Yes, that was a donation from somebody.
You know, those are cheap. I get more at Walmart.
Aha! Aha! Victory is mine.
Good. Now I'm going to laugh when you swallow that.
Oh, I won't.
And every time you breathe,
Oh, I used to have the little chirpers. So you can get these little devices that you put in your mouth and you can use them to make like bird noises
Yeah.
and squeaks. It's a clown thing.
yeah. Ben, we will be more than happy to put Cedar on camera anytime.
Oh, yes.
She normally hides off to the side
Doing
so that she can do her artwork.
Well, today I was endeavoring to figure out which of the words in the prompt I was trying to use was shadow banned. Because I'm playing with Midjourney trying to create a cover for a fantasy collection.
Yeah.
And suddenly my images started to disappear.
Huh.
And so I went into the Midjourney support and asked, and they're like, you were probably using a shadow banned word because it'll tell you if you use an out and out banned word. So I've been sitting over here iterating the same prompt, trying to figure out which word was shadow banned.
Why don't they just tell you?
Because there's times that using the word body would be perfectly acceptable.
Spelling of body, please.
B-O-D-Y.
Not B-A-W-D-Y.
No,
Okay.
that would probably be banned. You can use pinup but only if you spell it PIN-UP. If you put it all together PINUP, then it's a banned word and it'll kick back and you can't run it at all.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The problem is it's the internet. The internet does two things. It makes porn and it goes ultra violence.
Yeah.
And because Discord terms of services are to keep things PG-13, and Midjourney runs through Discord, it has to keep things PG-13.
Does keep it PG-13 meaning you're allowed one fuck per conversation?
I
don't
have
know.
not tried fuck, but I'm pretty sure that one's banned.
Yeah.
If I could actually take a real monkey and shove its entire ass up into its brain pan, I would be a happy man right now.
That would be messy and probably make
And
more noise
fun.
than the squeaker.
Yeah.
And fun. People wonder why, when I tell the story of the 4th of July and the flaming monkeys, that I giggle when I'm doing it.
If the cat is curious about the art, that is something along the lines of what I was trying to get.
Yeah. See, she actually does something productive while we just sit here and yap.
This
And
is
I-
my fidget.
I disassemble monkeys
Yeah.
because they are the devil's oven mitts.
Remind me to go by Walmart again.
Satan's own ball sack.
Piece
Yes.
of ball sack is banned, but I wonder what I'll get if I put in Devil's Own Oven Mitts.
There's some flaming monkeys on our way across North Dakota. I was out.
No, not ball sack.
But inside Skull, life is good.
Ball sack.
Um,
Yeah, speaking of band, I got a note from Blogger yesterday that one of my posts had been put behind a wall
Really?
Do you
because
still use Blogger?
no,
Didn't think so.
one of my old posts.
Okay.
Oh, they're just now finding it. You've been off there for how many years?
Yeah, 4 years.
Schmucks.
But I had violated community standards because I got a DDoS attack. And I tracked it back to the town and the school in China that was doing it. And I posted a map and a picture of the location.
Okay. Is that violated community standards?
And that apparently violated community
Squirrel.
standards
Doxing.
because I couldn't say I was being doxxed or DDoS'd. So I doxed them.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking spammers.
But they're
Really?
Chinese. But they're Chinese.
Hell, we
Put
had
the word monkey in there.
Yes.
Give.
It's not done rendering, but yes.
Ballsack doesn't get you banned. Yeah.
Oh, look, I can push his little skull in.
Yeah. Thai live monkey brain meal. Yep.
They're very angry monkeys.
As long as that gets you banned, does Ravelize get you banned?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You're exactly right, Tom. They know how their bread is buttered.
Yeah, no kidding.
Upgrade Bun's target list. Yeah.
Oh, look, I can drink wine out of his little skull. Finally, a good use for a monkey.
That'd be maybe a shot glass worth.
It's a monkey.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm being sent links to suggestions.
Seriously?
Yes.
Well, I think everybody's running scared on the left now because
Oh, Twitter's apparently fun.
oh yeah. Yeah, we'll take
Twitter is amusing. I've been hanging out on Twitter just to watch their
Oh,
little
yeah.
brains melt.
there used to be a hand puppet, and you stuffed your hand up the monkey's ass, and it had an arm that would Velcro under your collar, and you could make it do the monkey chittering sounds
Yeah.
by squeezing a bulb in its mouth. We should get one of those and bring it in and talk to Ian with it.
That is correct, Raptor.
Oh God.
Devil's own oven mitt. See, I told y'all, nobody ever listens. Everybody thinks monkeys are cute. No, they're not. They're evil, psychotic. They're serial killers in a fursuit. They've got diseases, sciences, and a name for yet under their fingernails and in their diapers. They're just not right. I
When they
don't
wear
like.
diapers.
I don't like monkeys.
Yeah, they're not bad as monkey meat on a stick.
Tom, I did. Thank you.
Tom says, give me a gin martini served in the skull of the monkey, 2 olives.
You're not going to fit 2 olives in that.
We're getting ready to end this one before it goes any further out of control.
They gave me a rubber monkey to play with. So there you go.
Crafters. Oh, so I see you met my aunt.
We gave you a rubber monkey. Are we still doing phrasing?
With this crowd, I'm afraid of what the phrasing
I don't think
might
we ever stopped
be.
doing phrasing.
Ah,
I am seriously molesting this monkey.
Okay, I didn't expect to go that kinky when I brought him a toy.
Poor Cedar. Which I just wiped out Cedar.
and on that note, we're going to call it a day. Oh, God. Yeah. The things we do, I swear.
Somebody doesn't want to hear about my kinks. I've already had monkeypox. It'll be fine.
He said, that was his next comment. Don't get monkeypox.
Yeah, I've already had monkeypox. And
Oh. All right, folks. Y'all have a good weekend.
see y'all Tuesday.
Yeah. And remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
As I shove a squeaker up a monkey's butt.
Yeah.
And Cedar will never ever come on a show again.
Cedar is trying to maintain her image of being a nice little lady.
As she wipes the tears of laughter away. All right, folks. We'll see you Tuesday.
Y'all be
Have a
safe.
good weekend. Be safe out there. And if you're going to hunt this weekend, good luck. Hope you get something big. Take care. Remember, don't pet the sweaty stuff. Don't sweat the petty stuff.
Be safe, guys.
Bye.